But if my heart has not
Wow.
chosen him, it's chosen me. I'm going to justify, real, rationalize, LIES, all the ways that I can get out of being the disciple
Yeah.
he called me to be.
Now I was not in the NFL. I played a little football. I love sports, but I was not in the NFL like you were, right? So thinking about NFL life, when we are willing to submit to the authority of the people around us that God has put in that place, or we have chosen to come under, right? Again, Jesus chose, gives us a choice. If we come in and like an NFL player and we sign the dotted line and we go, yep, I'm gonna be a Jet. I'm gonna be a Raider. I'm gonna be Falcon. Whatever. I choose to submit to the authority of the people there. I'm gonna be a disciple of Jesus. I'm gonna choose that. There is a freedom that comes with actually submitting to that. We were talking about it earlier that as a parent, when our children show that they submit, they get a level of freedom that those the any other child who maybe chooses not to submit
Yeah,
doesn't get. They
yeah.
put themselves in this proverbial jail, right? And that's so often what we start looking at is the Israelites actually put themselves in this proverbial jail. God called them to be priests, a
Yep,
nation of priests, to come
yep,
at the top of the mountains. Come with me. Come up. Let's be intimate together. I'm going to show you. You can be a nation of priests. And they're like, nah,
nap,
peace. They did not submit.
nap,
They didn't submit, right? And then what did he give them as a result of that? The law.
the law.
And that's where as parents, right? Think of what happens. Let me ask you this. You're a football player. You got a teammate that sits there and says, "Nah, coach, not doing it." What happens?
Well, he finds himself on the bench or
Right?
cut off the
And
team.
we
Yeah,
and we have people here that are sitting here going, "Nah, Jesus, not having it."
no. Mm-mm.
And we wonder why we're sitting on the bench. We wonder why we're not involved. We wonder why we struggle with things. We wonder why we find ourselves not in the place that God wants us is
Well,
because we've continually over and
yeah,
over and over
yeah.
said, "Nah, Jesus,
It's
not what I'm
interesting.
doing."
It's interesting you put it that way because I know I'm not which chapter it was, but I talked about this in Luke chapter 9, and it's where Jesus, the fox and the hills and the birds and bury the dead and let me go say bye to my friends, and then he goes, the one who puts his hands to the plow and looks back
Mhm.
is not fit.
Yeah,
And that word, that Greek word is
yeah.
euthetos, and it says is not fit for the kingdom. And it meant, and it's interesting because when you think about that, and I never, the analogy for me was my football years. See, if you did,
Yeah.
he goes, listen, it's not that I don't love you. It's not that I don't want to use you, but you know what? You're not under lordship and your focus is off and your commitment is off and you're not, and because of that, I can't
Mhm.
put you in. I can't use you because you're going to look back. And I tell people, can you imagine you're using the plow? I go, and all of a sudden, because you're looking back, you missed the fact that there was a big old boulder rock in the ground and you hit that, and now that blade is broke. I said, and there are no there are no Jerusalem Home Depots or Lowe's. You can just go grab you a quick
Mhm.
blade. No, you got to go get in line now of the blacksmith, and there's 6 people ahead of you. Now your family has lost the ability to do what they need to do to even be able to eat and make money for that time because you put your hands to the plow
Yeah.
and you looked back being double-minded. You weren't under lordship. See, you weren't fit. And
Mhm.
that word means that you weren't in shape, you weren't usable.